Welcome, everyone, to the Barely Friends podcast. My name's Isaiah.
My name's Eric.
And we have... Oh, sorry.
It's all right.
I didn't tell you.
It's
I
fine.
was going to introduce you. But, go ahead. Say your name again.
I'm Ty.
Hey, Ty.
Yeah,
He's Ty.
it's done.
He's my brother. He's my brother. And he's on the show, for one main reason. It's his birthday today, okay? So we want to celebrate him. It's his birthday. How old are you turning, my friend?
I'm 23.
23.
Yeah.
23. Wow. Does it feel any different than 22?
It's definitely looking back. It's been a journey. It's been a wild ride. So I think every year now that passes is something more to be grateful for. So I'm just looking forward to this next year, and we'll see what happens.
That's great. So you are also a loyal Giants fan, which is a little unfortunate. But since it's your birthday, I told you can wear it. Now, I don't know if you can see quite clearly, but I am wearing a Cowboys themed shirt. Now, I am in no way, shape, or form a Cowboys fan. But let me tell you this. Let me tell you. Give me 1 second. Let me tell you this. That's not it. Let me tell you this. Woo! How about them Cowboys? What can go wrong will go wrong. Oh my gosh. All right, we'll get into more of them later in the show, but I just had to start off with that because it was a little sad. But we'll get to that later. Right now, before we get into our main topics, we just want to introduce ourselves a little bit more, just more than our names. We just want to go over who we are as a podcast and who we are individually a little bit, just so that you know who we are, because this is the beginning of our show, and we'd like you to get to know us a little more. So, Eric, let's start with you. Who are you?
Well, my name's Eric, and I'm from New Bedford. Been here all 25 years of my life. And for work, I also do work as an educator, and I also do write for Sports Illustrated for the Boston Celtics.
Okay.
So some fun facts about me. And I also do some songwriting in my free time. And I've had a couple #1 hits in Portugal.
Oh yeah. And who just you told me the other day someone just hit you up? Was it on Twitter or on Facebook? Who was that?
Yeah. So I was scrolling on Twitter the other day, and there's an artist who's putting out some new music next week. And this artist is Jason Derulo.
Oh my gosh, savagery. Okay.
It's pretty crazy.
Okay.
So I showed him some support. I gave him, hey, check out his music. And he comments, and he's like, oh, yeah, I appreciate that, bro. Thanks, essentially. So it was kind of a nice, respectful exchange, two icons.
Yeah. No, you're an icon. Yeah, you're definitely an icon.
But the funny story is, the reason why I'm following Jason Derulo is, of course, I like some of his songs.
Yeah.
But back in 2009, he actually did a free concert at the Dartmouth Mall. So when I was 9, 10 years old, I saw Jason Derulo in the mall, singing, moving around, dancing.
Yeah.
And I was like, who is this guy? And now
Didn't even
15 years
know.
later, he's this massive star. So shout outs to him. We both came a long way, and glad to see him pan out too.
That's great. Awesome. Well, thank you for introducing us, Eric. We're glad to have you as part of the Barely Friends podcast. Ty, let's have our honorary guest share next.
Yeah. So, like I said, I'm Ty. I have been kind of a sports buff all my life, so it's been fun to kind of share my thoughts and hang out with you guys on the podcast a little bit, talk some sports news. But I'm a recent college graduate actually from Gordon College, small school. So I'm sure a lot of people don't know where or what Gordon is. But I had a great experience there. I played Division III golf there as well, which was pretty fun. I got to travel all over New England and even to some other places as well to play. Right now I'm just living in New Bedford and happy to be here and excited to talk more sports with you guys. So,
love it. Thanks for being here again. And I think Eric and I haven't really talked about full flesh, but I think we'll have you a little more in this season moving forward,
or possibly elevate Ty's role just a little bit, maybe push him down there and push you.
I see. Mean, that's funny.
That's what we talked about actually on the side.
It's a good joke. That's a good joke.
Yeah,
I'm sure you'll be more than happy to do that, but it is what it is. It's that's why we're barely friends here. Myself, and I. Again, my name is Isaiah. Grew up in New Bedford, Cape Verdean. Love sports. Played basketball and soccer. My main two. Now my main two are basketball and golf, mainly because of this kid to my right. So it's been a good time. Learning golf, and it's been fun. So fun fact: I studied geology in college. I went to Brown University, and I just loved the environment, loved the people studying geology with, and love the science about rocks. So it's as simple as that. So. So that's a little bit about me and a little bit about us, and then barely friends. What are we about? Well, we are we're mainly a Celtics podcast, I would say. We mainly want to talk about NBA news and basketball. But in the beginning of this season, we're gonna lean more heavily on NFL and WNBA because WNBA playoffs have begun, and the NFL season has just begun. So we'll be highlighting those a little more often, but we are going to start today with some breaking news, okay? With some breaking news happening in the NBA. First news, our guy. He's our guy, right? He's our guy. Adrian Wojnarowski has retired, moved on from ESPN, and is now working as a GM as Albermata. And so good things, hopefully, for him moving forward. But, no more Woj bombs, I will say, which is just breaking news. No more Woj bombs. So, how did you take either of you with that story, with that news?
Yeah, I'll say that as a media personnel, his role, Adrian Wojnarowski, he was the top of the industry for a while. And for him to have that job and to break so much important news in such a fast amount of time gets very stressful. But he definitely deserves the credit he's got over the years. And to see him retire from this role, kind of hits the childhood just a little bit. But he did a lot of great things, a lot of breaking news. And being someone who has, written for a top platform, I understand that it takes him a lot of screen time, just watching, giving up personal time to watch the news and make sure he doesn't miss anything important, and then reporting that news really quick to the public.
Absolutely, yeah. Ty, any thoughts?
Yeah, obviously, Woj is, he's kind of leaving at the top of his game, so obviously big shoes to fill there. But, hopefully, like you were saying, it's his alma mater, and from what I've seen in the news and other sports kind of networks covering this situation, there's a lot of pride that comes in the St. Bonaventure community. A lot of people who've gone on to do great things end up going back and supporting that community. So hopefully it's the best thing for him and his family. And that's all we can ask for it. But it's definitely a big loss for sure.
For sure, absolutely. Now they do have ESPN is fine where they're at. They have Brian Windhorst and Malika Andrews. So they're in good hands. But it is going to be sad again not seeing Woj bombs anymore. But ESPN, I think, is in good hands. Secondly, with breaking news, Joel Embiid, our guy, not really, he's not our guy because he's on the 76ers, but he did just have an extension with the 76ers, 3-year deal worth $193 million. So he's going to be there for a little longer. What do you guys think on the extension? Does it make him committed as a 76er moving forward? Does it make them more of a contender? Any thoughts? Any thoughts on that?
I believe you mentioned it's a 3-year deal?
Yes, 3-year deal, yes.
Okay, so what I envision for him is I imagine him staying on the team for at least one more year. But if by year 2 the team's not doing that well with Sixers, I think he may even request a trade.
Okay.
And in year 3, if he's frustrated and if the team's not reaching his expectations, then he may even just leave in free agency. So I think that if he does want to have championship level success, he does need to leave. And the Sixers right now are a mid to upper level team, but they're never going to be that championship team, in my opinion.
Sure. Yeah. Ty.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I'll be honest here. I'm not entirely sure about the fine details of the contract. But obviously, Joel Embiid is the biggest star on the Philadelphia 76ers right now. They obviously just acquired Paul George in free agency, and they kind of have a rising star in Tyrese Maxey, so they've kind of created their own big three. I think the NBA is kind of moving away from the big three eras, especially with the Celtics team that just kind of came out. Obviously they resembled more of a almost like a Chicago Bulls, like Jordan Pippen style of play, where they had two big wings that could, really push the ball on offense, play defense as well, and then they just had a lot of really good complementary pieces. So that seems to be more of where the NBA is going, and especially with like the salary cap restructuring and things like that. So we'll see how it works out. We've seen this example, in Phoenix, for instance, right, where they try to create a big three. It doesn't seem to be working out, and now all of a sudden rumors about KD getting traded to the Rockets are kind of in the mix in the media. So you just kind of hope that for them, when you're putting all the chips on the table, that it eventually works out. But if not, there's probably going to be some big repercussions. And like you said, Eric, one of them might be Joel Embiid finding his way out of Philadelphia. So we'll see how that goes.
For sure. And, I think, the main thing about Joel Embiid is not about his talent, but it's about his health, right? So, if this guy can stay healthy for these next year with the whole team, right, and not miss too many games, right, they're going to rest them. You're resting players now anyway. But if you have this guy healthy for a good season and have him mainly healthy for the playoffs, then it's gonna be a more dangerous 76ers team. I don't think they're gonna be our Celtics. I don't believe that, because we've just owned them. But I think they'll be more dangerous and a more prominent threat, and you should be able to see them in the Eastern Conference Finals if he's healthy.
Yeah, I think this will be very hard to find for him, but I think his ideal situation is kind of like Kristaps Porzingis, where he could just like alleviate some of the pressure on himself as a center and pass it on to his other wings like Tatum and Brown. So I'm kind of endorsing Embiid to the Celtics a little bit.
Oh, whoa.
Wow.
Oh, wow. That is.
I don't think we could make that happen.
I don't know.
Money-wise.
Yeah.
That is a little
Oh,
surprising.
yeah, no. I don't think
would be
logistically
crazy.
we can do that, but I say as a playing destination, I think he'd work really well with the team. With our centers, with the Celtics, Al Horford and Porzingis, I feel like are really short-term solutions. So that's another topic. It's by itself, but overall, I think Embiid wants to aim for a team that would give him that alleviation, like the Heat or like the Celtics.
Yeah, I think if you want to throw another team out there that he could potentially join and make another super team, I think New York, the Knicks.
Man. Well,
could be a potential destination. I mean, granted, if all of the financial situation works out and they have the cap space to be able to sign him in free agency or make a trade for him or something. I mean, Jalen Brunson, who's kind of the leader of that team, took a massive pay cut to keep Mikal Bridges, his Villanova kind of teammate there for a while. He took a massive pay cut so that he could be on the team for a while. And there's been a lot of talk in the offseason about Randall not being super comfortable playing the center position, and Mitchell Robinson, with Isaiah Hartenstein leaving, going to OKC. Mitchell Robinson is kind of the only, big man presence with any kind of solid NBA resume outside of Julius Randle. And he's been hurt frequently, and he's been another player kind of in the playoffs where he's just not healthy, not ready to go. So, I mean, if you want to talk about a potential super team fit, with Julius Randle being able to play in the 4, the way he wants to, with Embiid running the 5, the pick and roll game with Jalen Brunson, I think would be insane, and so much room for Mikal Bridges to, play iso ball or kind of be the unselfish player that he is. So I think that could definitely be an interesting situation too.
for sure. Well, it's even more interesting because I don't know if either of you know, but Mitchell Robinson did actually just get hurt. Not like an
I
ankle
didn't even
injury.
know that. Yeah.
He's going to be out for at least the beginning of this NBA season. So I don't think we're saying that he's going to be traded. They just signed a 3-year deal, right? There's no way that's going to happen. However, Mitchell Robinson has not had a great history with injuries, right? So, I mean, I don't know. Leave it open. I don't know. Leave it open. We'll see. So, very interesting situation. 76ers, Mitchell Robinson. With all that, I do have a last bit a breaking news actually, and I want to go back to our intro section for a second because I did miss some key photos that I think all of you would like to see, and we're gonna all have a look and explain those photos real quick. So these are just about 10 years ago. We 10 years ago we had a picture here, and then it's from the old to the new. So we're gonna start with your picture, Eric. We're gonna start with you. This is you.
Wow. Look at that handsome
10
guy.
years ago, and now. So explain a little bit with this photo.
Yeah, so I'm wearing a soccer scarf around my uniform.
Yeah. What team is that?
Yeah, that's a Benfica.
Oh, Benfica. Very nice. Very nice.
The top Portuguese soccer team in Portugal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the Yankees of Portugal.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know much about Portugal soccer. Okay, but I'm sure that could get people triggered. But anyway.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed wearing the scarf, like showing my Portuguese Benfican pride. Gotta let them know,
Yep.
But yeah, and this is also around the same time that I became friends with Isaiah, roughly 10 years ago. So it may have been on that same day. Who knows? But yeah, I enjoyed wearing the scarf.
Great. And then what about the now picture? Where are you? And is that your trophy? What is that all about?
Well, they offered it to me, but I was like, nah, you can keep it.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
No, that's the Larry O'Brien trophy.
Okay.
And Wick Rousbeck, the owner of the Celtics, he was very gracious. He brought the trophy to New Bedford at Cisco's. Mm. So I had the pleasure of talking to him for a little bit and having him answer some of my interview questions. And like I said, he brought the trophy, and I got to take a picture of the trophy.
Awesome. Good stuff there. Yeah, that's an awesome opportunity to meet the owner, to take a picture of the trophy. That's great stuff. Ty, you're up.
All right, here we go. So, yeah, I don't remember exactly when that picture on the left was taken, but yeah, that was my glory days in the Kyle Shanahan offense.
Oh yeah.
Before he was even there, I was running the West Coast. I mean, look at that. Look at the athleticism there.
Look at the form. I mean, that's just
the massive rocket arm, the ability
impressive.
to move outside of the pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really had it going there in the flag football league that we were playing in. So, tough that things didn't work out. Massive injury. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, that was fun times for sure. I know we had a couple of fun games there and whatnot. But yeah, loved football for a while. Never played tackle football. But yeah, it is what it is. So I still had a good time.
It's a big what if.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
100%. Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah, I wanted to spare some roster spots, for the local teams, and I didn't, wanted to take it easy on them.
Yeah,
so
probably would have been better.
Decided to play flag.
Probably would have been better than Daniel Jones. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think that.
Hey man, you better watch out. He's
I'm sorry.
He's coming for the Cowboys tonight.
You seem to be
Thursday. You seem to be, or I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Thursday.
It's
and you seem to be a pretty big fan of them over there.
No.
You still gotta explain yourself.
Hey, we'll get the football later. We'll get the football later.
Anyway, let me go to the picture on the right here. So this was a picture day at Gordon College for some of the sports teams out there. So one of the camera women for the lovely Fighting Scots was out there taking pictures of the golf team, and yeah, that was one of the pictures that came out there, and yeah, it's pretty nice. So obviously I translated from rocket arm and massive mobility in flag football to golfer. So
yeah,
that's kind of my story, and it's been a fun journey, like I said before, and like I said, had a lot of fun times on the golf course. Still working on my game, but that's about it. So
the good thing for Ty is, I've heard a lot of great things about his swing and about his scoring. You got a good 45 years of golf.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not a very good golfer. I'm, barely single digits in handicap, if anybody who's watching, knows what that kind of language is. But yeah, about the swing, my coach used to call me butter. Just because of the smooth swing. So yeah, never really translated to score all that much, but I was smoothing it out there, which is nice.
Yeah, it's all good. That's good. That's a nice nickname for a golfer. I would say.
Shout out to you, Coach Ryan. We love you.
There we go. All right, now best for last, of course. Best for last is my photo now, and you know, all right.
Oh,
I will talk about my.
Both sides are looking a bit rough.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
Great
I will-
observation.
I will. Oh my! This is not happening again. This whatever we have going on here. I will say, you know, I look pretty fine. Okay, in the picture on the right. Okay,
Relax.
I will say, all right.
Relax.
You talking trash? I gotta
Put
back
your number.
myself up.
Put your number in the
Back myself
comments.
up.
Why don't you?
Yeah. Look, all right. I'm just in my Kaverian swag there. I'm in my backyard. I'm just chilling. Okay. Now the photo on the left needs more explanation because you can't really see the full picture. This next picture kind of shares.
Whoa, is that Mahomes?
Mahomes?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's a goat, right?
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. No.
Definitely not Brady.
We're actually going to get to some interesting GOAT talk maybe later in the episode that Drake May said some GOAT stuff that may have triggered some Patriots fans. However, he is one of the greatest. Yes, he is a GOAT. But no, this GOAT tried to attack me, and I had food for him, and I did not want to give him the food, so I was scared. I had my Superfly shirt there, as you can see. So I think that was my dad who took that photo. Petting zoo fun, yeah.
Sure, I have a question. So
Yeah, sure.
if you didn't want to feed him, what are you doing in there? You know, what purposes are you doing? Just kind of
Well,
hanging around.
look. I
If you
just
didn't want to feed him, somebody like throw you in there.
no. I just wanted to see, you know, I've never been to petting zoo before, probably at that
Okay,
time. So I
fair,
just wanted to.
fair.
I wanted to pet the goat. That's all.
Okay,
I just
yeah.
wanted to pet the goat.
Sure.
Is that wrong?
No.
Okay.
I just wanted to clarify.
Okay.
It does
yeah.
look like he whatever
make sure
you
people
like
know.
had for him, it looked like he was trying to give you a hug, like
Yeah,
he was
look,
like kind of your bro.
I mean, a little bit. You know, there was, you know, I think again because he just. I mean, it wasn't me. It was more so the, you know, the food I had in my hand.
Do you
so
recall what food item you had?
I don't know, man. It was goat food. it was goat food.
It was
that,
goat food.
that they provided at the zoo. What do you want me to do? And I think it was San Antonio Zoo. I think this was in Texas. So that's that. But I wanted to bring that back because I wanted to show these photos. You know, not to show this one in particular that badly, but you know, just again to get to know a little bit more about the Barely Friends, and you know, I thought it was a good way to do it. So now we're gonna go into football. Now we're gonna get into the meaty stuff of Barely Friends podcast we wanted today. First things first, our Patriots. Well, let me not say our. Sorry, I forgot. Giants fan. We did not look good Thursday against Aaron Rodgers. I will say Aaron Rodgers looked pretty darn good. He looked fine first 2 weeks. I think we can say, but he was perfect. He was pretty much perfect. Not that the Patriots defense is super good. I mean, it's solid. I would say it's solid. Bias out of it, I think it's solid, but you know, he destroyed us. So, that was we didn't watch the whole game. Everyone went to our friend's place, and you know, most of them, maybe all of them, were not really Patriots fans. Some of them were rooting for them at the time, but it was
good company.
Great
people.
Yeah, it was fine. Eric, you wanted to talk a little bit about Brissett.
Oh yeah. So I know that Brissett started with us, I believe, around 5 years ago.
Okay.
The season that Tom Brady had his 4-game suspension. So what I've really noticed from Brissett starting with us this season is that I'd like to see more passing from him. I feel like he can be a good, accurate passer, but the Patriots are relying more on running than they are on passing. And a lot of times when they should be doing passing, they're doing a running play, from what I've observed. And when you do that, you limit your opportunities on the field. And I just want to see him be more aggressive in the offense in that regard.
Sure.
But there is potential for him to continue, you know, winning games.
Yeah, I think it's tough with the offense we have in the sense of, you know, our offensive line is really banged up. We don't really have, you know, plays where we can rely on our offensive line, whether it's running or passing. So, you know, we're just trying to be safe at this point. I've seen a lot of plays where Jacoby Brissett has gotten banged up. Like, I feel like at least once a game, he's gotten hit and he's got dinged up. And the worst case scenario for me would be that Jacoby goes down and Drake May has to play for the foreseeable future. Now, I don't mind him playing. You know, he played at the end of this last game, got sacked 3 times. Okay, like we don't want to see that out of our future quarterback, who right now we're just trying to get acclimated to a new coach, new coaches in general. Like I don't want to see him playing anytime soon, unless of course he has to, and you know, because he's backing up Jacoby Brissett. But you know, don't get him out there with our offensive line. That's me.
Yeah, I guess it's more for the table. But what did you guys think about Drake May's debut?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch his performance because I just went home and it was a blowout. I was all set, so I didn't see it again. All I saw was him getting sacked 3 times. I'm like, hopefully he does not get hurt. So I don't think I could speak much to that. So I don't know if you watched any.
No, but such a small sample size, and like you said, they were getting blown out anyway. So it's not like they were going in to just kind of. I mean, maybe they were trying to give him meaningful reps, but with the score kind of already out of hand, it's like, you know, there's nothing to really evaluate there. I think they really have to consider as a team, you know, when they're going to put Drake May in, whether it's, you know, later on in the season or not. You know, maybe they get some more offensive line help in the offseason and try to get them ready for next year. But yeah, the Patriots look bad, which is great. But they looked really bad.
Yeah. You're celebrating with other people who just don't like the Patriots. I'm sure a lot of Giants fans don't. So that's really
why
good.
would we?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. So, but
deflating football. So
yeah. All right. Well, let's move on. Let's talk about. I like this topic because we all, I will say, do not like this team much. And I will go back. Woo! No, but it's the Cowboys. They looked atrocious this past week. The score does not say it all. If you just saw the score, it does not say it all one bit. I want to give some informative stats, not just with this game, but the last 3 games of the season for the Dallas Cowboys. This was from ESPN, specifically from my show, Get Up. Last 3 games. 120 points allowed, which means 40 points per game. 607 rushing yards allowed total, and 7.7 yards per play allowed. You know, I think last year, maybe just for me, maybe just because I had their defense for fantasy football, I thought, oh, this defense is like kind of elite. Like, they're pretty solid. But after hearing those stats and watching them play and getting punched in the mouth by Derrick Henry and Alvin Kamara, this Cowboys team is, and by other words that I would like to use here, pretty soft.
Yeah, that's a fair and accurate description of what they look like, and yet they still managed to find themselves within 3, I think, at the end of the game, and that just goes to show you that Baltimore is by no means a perfect team either. They definitely have their defensive flaws, which have kind of been exposed throughout the season, especially last week, the week before this one when they lost to Vegas at home. That was not a good look for them. But yeah, they have a very interesting situation, and as Greeny was kind of talking about on the show, you know, it's one thing when you have a problem that you don't expect, because we all face unexpected problems that we try to solve, and sometimes it doesn't look very good. But when you know that you have a specific problem and you still don't game plan for it and you still don't solve it, that's a pretty bad look. And that most likely means that you just don't have the guys. You don't have the interior lineman to be able to push the O-line back and force them to kind of create space on their own, make dynamic plays. They can kind of just run right up the holes that they create as an offensive line. Makes it so much easier to kill clock, makes it so much easier to run the play action, especially with Lamar and Derrick Henry, what should be an almost unstoppable play action combo. So you're never going to be able to win like that in that situation. So Cowboys have a lot to consider, a lot to think over, and you know, we definitely will be interested to see how they turn out for the rest of the season, because right now, those high expectations that the Cowboys fans normally hold, they're not holding up.
Yeah, I kind of piggybacking off of Ty there. I feel like Cowboys fans always enter the season expecting a Super Bowl victory, and then settle for a wild card appearance.
I mean, yep. I mean, it's a joke, but it's not really. Like that's the truth.
Yeah,
Yep.
and I can't really speak too much on the roster. I'm not really looking towards I really don't analyze their games very much. So it's really when they're on national television, I'll watch the game. But I do know, of course, there's Dak Prescott, and I believe he's one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league.
Yes, the
So-
highest paid. Sorry,
Yep.
the highest paid player in NFL history.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So part of the issue too is they're paying Dak Prescott so much money, and the reason why Tom Brady, in a way, got his championships is because he was willing to take a pay cut. And I feel like even though you're not getting paid the most in the league, if you surround yourself with other great players and win championships, that money's going to come to you regardless.
Right.
So if I was Dak Prescott, I wouldn't worry about getting paid. I mean, obviously I would, but like a couple million's fine. But as long as he's getting an accurate amount of money and he's able to attract great players, he'll win a championship. He just needs to take that pay cut.
For sure. And I think you could put blame in the past from Dak Prescott in underperforming in the playoffs. This year, right now, because I mean he's great in the regular season. And last year he wasn't MVP, correct? No, but he was very close. So,
I believe second in the MVP.
Second, right. So, right now it's not necessarily Dak. It's definitely more so the defense. And so they got a new defensive coordinator, Mike Zimmer, and so they're trying to just work on, what that looks like now. And right now, like we've alluded to, it's not good. Also, what doesn't look too good is for me, my fantasy football team. So we're gonna show some standings here. Now this isn't official because this was after just week 2, but I think we still so Ty's team is when in Rome. Okay, so they're number 1. That's nice. My team is highlighted there. Pack a Punch Ray Gun. You can talk to me after or comment why I named my team that. Eric, your team is not really fine. So that's there. However, after this week, the standings looked a little different. Ty just went from first to second, so that's fine. Now there's only one undefeated team in our league. Eric's team went from 9th to 8th, so that's good. Went up in the standings. I went from 7th place to 10th place, and I'm gonna be a little bitter here for a second because mainly I will not shout this person out. I will not call them out. But there was a trade that happened in our league. Happened in the morning. Derrick Henry was acquired for the team that I was playing against. And he gave away 2 players. It wasn't a great trade, I will say. But the worst part was now he had Derrick Henry going against the Cowboys, going against me. And really, what beat me, Jamar Chase beat me because last night he was phenomenal. That game was really great. Jaden Daniels is going to be something special in the league. But that Jamar Chase 2 touchdowns, really that was the game. But Derrick Henry having 30 fantasy points. If he didn't have 30 fantasy points, he would have had 2 other players who had much less. Thus, I would have won. So I'm a little bitter today. I'm a little bitter for fantasy. But how are you guys feeling with your fantasy teams? How are you doing?
Yeah, I actually want to give a shout out to Cameron Chobbs real quick.
Okay.
And the reason why is because he actually suggested for myself to bench Kincaid, who's the tight end for the Bills, and put in Henry, the Patriots tight end.
Oh yeah, he went off. Hey, that's huge.
But yeah, the issue is week 3 was the game against the Jets.
Yep.
So it was kind of a flip flop where Kincaid did better and Henry kind of tanked that week.
Sure.
But I do appreciate the feedback and the input. It helped me a little bit. And yeah, I mean my team's 1 and 2, so hopefully continue that streak and make the playoffs.
Yeah, it's early. Yeah,
so
early. We're fine. Yeah, I'm 1 and 2 too, Eric. So I feel you. Ty, how do you feel atop of the league so far?
I feel great. I feel like I had a really good draft. I feel like I have a really, really deep team. I had Josh Allen last night. Was incredible. I needed him to score a little bit more points than he did to win. I ended up losing by 3 points or so, which was kind of heartbreaking.
Yes.
I almost wish that he didn't play well at all. Then it would have been like I had no chance. But
Right.
started Jamison Williams, wide out on the Lions, who has been really good the last couple of weeks. Solid wide receiver too, and he just kind of flopped with one catch. And I had guys like Deontay Johnson and Roma Dunze on the bench, and that cost me this week. But that's fantasy football.
It is. Yeah.
Hindsight is 20/20, and there's so many different things that we could look at and say, if I did this, my team could have won. Like you, making excuses. Sounds just like a Patriots fan to me. But anyway,
here we go. Here we go.
But yeah, no excuses. We lost this week. Just got to retool, find the best matchups. Maybe be a little patient, but also try to be as aggressive as we can on the waiver wire. And we'll see where we go from there.
For
With
sure.
Josh Allen, you got a chance to win every week, so I'm not complaining. Only thing I am a little bit mad about is the fact that Tyreek Hill's production has gotten incredibly low, at least this past week, because of the quarterback injuries. So, Tua is a whole nother discussion in his health and his life. But if he gets back out there on the field and he makes that decision for himself, it'd be really nice for my fantasy team, and I know a lot of other fantasy teams out there as well.
For sure. And, we are obviously prioritizing the health of players, the health and safety. That's number one. So, and especially with Tua, like, real quick, to see him with another concussion injury, I think third in his NFL career, it just sucks. It when you saw him go down, like, I think I saw it live. Maybe it was a highlight, but it's scary at this point for him if he's, getting these concussion injuries. And so, hoping that, everything goes well and he's okay. But, on the topic of fantasy, it also hurts my team because I have the running back for the Dolphins. He's been helpful. He's been really good when Tua's there, and now not so great. So, hopefully that just changes. Hopefully Skylar Thompson, or I think he just got hurt. So now I'm blanking on their third string. But anyway, hopefully
as well, actually.
Yeah, I knew it.
Tim Boyle.
There we go.
Tim Boyle.
Thank you. So hopefully it makes a difference. But again, it's injury first. So hoping for the best for Tua.
I know we don't. We need to keep rolling a little bit.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I also want to thank you for another bad fantasy move that you did. You talk about the trade that happened with two other teams that wasn't you, causing you to lose somehow. But I just want to thank you for dropping Jordan Mason at the beginning of the season when you picked him up. If anybody doesn't know who that is, that's the backup running back for the San Francisco 49ers. Christian McCaffrey's been put on IR, so Jordan Mason has kind of been the starting running back there. He's been doing very well fantasy-wise. So
Yeah.
I think I picked him up on as the 10th person in the waiver wire. So yeah, just has been a solid, reliable fantasy starter for me. And I need a little bit more production from him last week to win, but definitely not worried about it, and excited to have him for as long as I can in my starting lineup.
Sure. Yeah, you're welcome. All right, let's move on to some WNBA news. The playoffs have happened. This news will be interesting when the podcast is uploaded because the first round will be over. So everything will be set, I think, from my understanding. We're just going to give you what's happened now, which is on a Tuesday of this week. So right now, as it stands, the Las Vegas Aces. What's going on? The Las Vegas
You nervous?
Aces. No. The Las Vegas Aces are at 1-0 to the Storm. The Minnesota Lynx are at 1-0 to the Mercury. Liberty up 1-0 to the Dream. And the Sun 1-0 to the Fever. Now, the game that interests at least Eric and I the most was the Sun Fever because the Connecticut Fever, local, New England, professional women's basketball team, played against our Caitlin Clark, and it was not good for our Caitlin Clark. It was not good at all. One of her worst 3-point percentages of the year. I think only acquired 11 points, two for 11 from three, 4 for 17 total. The Fever as a whole were 21.4% from three. And I think like second half of this year, they were amazing from three, or they were top of the league. So, it's unfortunate to see that, but at the same time, it's this team's first year in the playoffs. I think in 8 years. They've got a lot of young pieces. Like, it's gonna be fine. Like, if they get swept, that's cool. The Sun are the best defensive team in the league. 94.1 points per game allowed throughout this whole year. So that's what they do. So I'm not concerning. She just won Rookie of the Year, which is huge. Congrats, Kaylin. But I'm not worried. It's a tough matchup.
Yeah, I mean, I watched that game. It was on a Sunday. Suns in Connecticut. Suns and Fever, yeah. So that was actually during like primetime at NFL. So the funny part is, like, you wouldn't expect it, but me, my dad, and my uncle sat down. We didn't turn on any NFL games and just straight up watched Suns against the Fever.
That's commitment, man.
That was I'd say, revolutionizing moment, just like in general for women's sports. To see like more people tuning in to watch during those key moments. And as you mentioned, Isaiah, Caitlin Clark had an awful shooting night. And hopefully, she doesn't repeat that in game 2. But I do feel like that bad shot selection did contribute to the loss. But regardless of that, the Suns, I believe, were last year's championships, or they were runner-up in the championship.
Runner-up, I think, yeah.
Yep. So, there's essentially still one of the best teams in the league. And Caitlin Clark exceeded expectations in terms of her individual stats as well as her team success. I know that heading into the season that the Fever were a bit not that best. They were tanking.
Mm-hmm.
I believe they were like 1-10 or something crazy like that. So for them to turn it around and end up making the playoffs is an achievement itself. And Clark was pitted against Reese in a very close Rookie of the Year rivalry. And by the end of the season, it was very clear that Clark is the better player. So I think she's definitely exceeded expectations for this season. And next season, I think she'll make that leap again.
Yeah, for sure. Ty, any thoughts on this game, on Caitlin Clark, on WNBA status as a whole?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I didn't really watch the game all that much.
Well, you were out.
Fantasy
right?
football is kind of my jam right now. So it's unfortunately, the WNBA hasn't quite been on my radar.
Yeah, I was watching the game. Let me pause right there. I was watching the game. The Sun and the Fever. He comes in. Can we watch the Eagles? Or was it? No, it wasn't Eagles. It was Saints. What was the game that came
I think
on?
it was Saints Eagles.
Was it Saints? Saints Eagles. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'll do it. I mean, this is a pretty important game, revolutionizing maybe. But anyway.
Yeah. So football. Yeah. I've just been watching a lot of football.
Yeah.
Been anticipating the season, so I didn't catch much of this game.
Yeah.
Caitlin's a rookie, obviously very talented. She's making this team much better. They'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll be honest too. I was once I saw the Fever doing poorly against the Sun, I went back to football because I wasn't having it. I didn't think they were going to come back. So I'm on that boat, but yeah, we're to sum up, we're not worried about the Fever, and hopefully though the Sun can make a huge leap in the playoffs and maybe eclipse the Aces, because the Aces right now are phenomenal. So we'll see. All right, we're gonna go into a segment right now that is called What in the World, and there's just one little bit here. And I'm sure, Ty, you'll get a real kick out of it. So our rookie quarterback, Drake May, this is after the New York Jets game. A reporter, I believe he's for NFL Network, but I got this information from Fox Sports. So I'm just sure they picked the information from each other. But Mike Garafolo caught Drake May on tape saying, and I'll quote, "I'm waiting for the GOAT while waiting for Aaron Rodgers." So initially, I'll say as a Patriots fan seeing that, I'm like, that's a little, like, Brady, right? Like Patriots. Like, why are you doing against the Jets? Like, why are you saying that? But then, in his defense, and what Mike Garafolo had mentioned afterwards, he wasn't saying he was the greatest quarterback of all time. Like, that's what GOAT stands for. But he was saying, just one of the greats, and just that's someone he admired, and so that's all he was saying. I think I'd probably still lean on the Patriots fan because I'm a Patriots fan, and so I'm like, why would you do that after you lost against the Jets? So, but it's fine. I don't think it's a big deal.
Do you now want to like trade Drake May or something? Like what?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I don't want to trade Drake May. No, he's fine. We're good.
I think it's fine that
Good.
not everybody has to be a Tom Brady lover. Not everybody grew up as a Patriots fan. Not everybody. He did go to the Patriots. He's playing for the Patriots. But last time I checked, like they kind of remade the locker rooms there. Like they kind of took down all the do your job stuff. They're trying to set a new culture. So maybe it's just, it's time for a new era. Maybe not everybody has to be, worshiping Tom Brady if they're on the Patriots or a Patriots fan.
Yeah, I mean, also I know that Drake May, he's been with the team for a couple months now, like since he's been drafted.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also, I honestly don't know where he was born or where he grew up. But it was in New England. So he doesn't really have much emotional connection to the Patriots, I would imagine. And he went to college in the South. So he has definitely grew up through Tom Brady, but he plays from now. And I guess as long as he's committed to the team now, that's what matters.
Yeah.
But Tom Brady and him, it's whatever.
Yeah. He said nothing about he's not going to the Jets. He's not nothing about his commitment to the organization. It's just that's something he looks forward to. So again, it's just something caught my eye.
Everybody has their goat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know who your goat is. So we don't have to go there.
I would say it's Mahomes.
Yeah,
especially if he wins this. Yeah. I mean, I think it goes Mahomes and then Eli.
Okay.
And then
you know what?
maybe Tom.
I've never done this. I haven't had to do this, but I just muted my brother, and he's going to be potentially muted for the rest of the show. We're going to get on to our final segment, and it is our mailbag. We're just going to give a shout out to a couple of fans who commented in the first episode. One is at Katrina M4644. She says, Isaiah, you have such a great... I can't read that while it's mine.
How much did you pay her?
No. I didn't pay that. Yeah. All right, so I feel bad. Here you go.
Yeah, how much did you pay?
I didn't pay her anything. You asked her. All right, this is a friend of ours. All right, the mutual friend. So we'll. But she says, Isaiah, you have such a great radio voice personality. So fun, guys. Praise hands emoji. And then at Just Stevie official commented and said, 2 fire emojis for the video. So I just want to give you a shout out. If you ask questions or comment on the video, we would love to give you a shout out and share.
And I do endorse Katrina's comment. As much as I joke, Isaiah's a great host.
Yeah, I mean, look, you don't have to. That's fine. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's it. You don't have to agree. No one has to agree. No one has to like my voice. No, I'm saying I did not pay anyone to just do that.
Yeah. Shout out Just Stevie. Shout out Beyond Music. Go check them out on Apple Music,
Yes.
Spotify. This video is not sponsored.
No,
but,
it's not.
We love Stevie. We love his music. So go check him out.
And we just want to say real quickly, our other buddy at Kian, or not Kian, just Kian, helping us with our logo, helping us with our our advertising in general. So really appreciate you both, Stevie, Kian. This is going to be all the time we have. Again, my name's Isaiah.
My name's Eric.
And I'm Ty.
And this is your Barely Friends podcast. Have a good one. See you later.
I had a dream last night.